Looks like someone got served, and it was us. This is Girls Just Want to Have Fun on Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. We got the Stinker Madness. Hello and welcome to Stinker Madness. I am your host, Justin. With me is my wife, Jackie. How are you, Jackie?
Well, I'm just having fun.
Woohoo! And Sam is here as well. Sam!
I'm just being a girl.
Yeah. Nice boobies.
Yeah.
Nice man boobies. Yeah, we just got done doing Girls Just Want to Have Fun with one Sarah Jessica Porkhorker.
With one lady who was attached to Sarah Jessica Parker's eyebrow. Jesus. This is pre-plucking.
Yeah,
she
really
was
is.
bushy.
Very bushy. Like, hi, man. And Helen Hunt just was... She was fine. There was nothing weird looking about her other than her attire. Her attire was out of control.
Yeah, it was.
She was the typical 80s, I'm making my own clothes lady.
Yeah, but were they clothes?
I wrote down everything she wore, I think.
Did you really?
I tried. I got
started,
most of it.
I started doing it at about halfway, and I was like, "Oh man, I should have done this the whole way." Because it's like a body count.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how many times is she wearing something stupid? But yeah, this is the '80s in a nutshell. Most people like, oh, '80s movie. You think Back to the Future. You think what? Indiana Jones. Even Ferris Bueller's is pretty 80s.
Yeah.
But this is the 80s in a spray can of silly
This
string.
is the bad stuff about the 80s.
This is why I hate the 80s.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate the 80s. Everybody that has, like, 80s fever and, oh, it was such a great time when we were all about to die. Don't ever forget that. It's still, like, the fun parts of it sucked ass. Dancing. Incessant dancing everywhere. Terrible music.
Mm-hmm.
Big hair.
Big ass hair.
Big eyebrows.
I don't like the big hair, though.
Convertibles were in.
Even if it was a dumb car. As long as it didn't have a top, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which, there's still a little bit of that today.
The Volkswagen Rabbit convertible was very big.
Was very. My aunt had one. My aunt had
car.
one of those until 1997.
Yeah.
She loved it.
The Dodge Colt convertible. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I remember that car.
Yeah. I knew a girl in high school that had one of those. Well, from another high school. But she, yeah. Oh, boy, what a crappy car. 80s. Not fun.
No.
Are we done bashing the 80s? Is there anything else? Reagan sucked!
Oh, cutting your shirt, even if you're a dude, like cutting the bottom of your shirt off.
God.
And then part of the sleeves so that they roll up on their own, you just look like a total douche, no matter if you're a woman or a man. That's just a bad look, especially if it used to be a sweatshirt.
Oh yeah, the sweatshirt was the big thing.
Because it was like all four. You'd cut the neck off of it, then you'd cut the bottom off of it, and you'd cut the sleeves, and you just look like the biggest asshole on the planet.
You know what I noticed about this film most? Is you know how there's now movies that are yellow or blue or red. They're filtered throughout. Like if it's blue, it's a vampire movie. Like a spooky, not a spooky vampire, but like a futuristic vampire movie.
Or it was also I think a lot of the horror movies are blue now. Like The Ring was blue, and so was The Grudge.
And if it's yellow, that means the sun has exploded or something, and it's post-apocalyptic now.
Or a war flashback.
War flashback.
That's
is
sepia.
Typical. Sepia,
and sometimes it's sepia, but the yellow-orange stuff will do for... If it's not like a World War II, if it's like the Gulf War or Bosnia, they'll do orange or yellow.
It's always yellow. Yeah. This one is just pink. It's just pink everywhere. There is so much goddamn pink in this movie. Like, the cars are pink,
But not the footage, just people were wearing this shit.
Just pink everywhere.
Yeah, everything's
This is a pink film. The poster art is... As you can see, all pink.
Yeah.
The nemesis, the antagonist of this film, her entire apartment is pink.
Yeah.
And she's the bad guy. Shouldn't she have a different color? Because the girls are also wearing pink. It seems like they should be playing for the same team.
No.
There wasn't a equal representation of Aqua Because aqua was big then, too. They needed more aqua in this movie.
And seafoam green.
Seafoam green, seafoam green was like a wild card back then. Like, because you'd have...
You're
like,
edgy preppy?
Crockett and Tubbs in Miami Vice, one of them, I think, wore pink, the other one wore aqua. But if somebody, like a bad guy that they really know means business, he would have been wearing seafoam green. Like, oh shit, it's a pastel that
still
most people don't know about.
But it's a hardcore pastel. Bad guy pastels. Who's the bad guy in this film? Well, he's the one wearing seafoam green.
And some dickhead should be like, with a gray shirt. You're like, what the fuck is with the gray shirt? And he's like, it's like pastel black. Like, nope, it's just gray, dickhead.
Yeah, that's the guy who's like the red shirt in Star Trek. He's getting shot first.
Yeah.
Pastel black.
Dwayne showed up in gray and he got hit by a K car. Run over by a Dodge Dynasty.
Dodge Dart convertible. So anyways, yes. So Sarah Jessica Parker is new in school. She has just moved to this town of unknown... Oh, it's Chicago, but like, wherever... I don't know. Is it just Chicago?
It was the suburb of
Chicago.
Chicago.
Because remember, it seems kind of hardcore outside.
No, they had to take a bus to get to Chicago.
Yeah, but they had their outdoor Catholic playground has like chain link fences that go up 20 feet to keep the riffraff out.
Well, I'm sure that even the burbs are like that. It's Chicago.
I think that's a pretty big judgment call.
Well, they said that that it was like going into town in the movie. They had to, it was like a trip to get to Chicago.
Yeah.
But not really, because Dad, at the very end, he gets there in like 3 minutes.
That's just the convenience of travel in movies.
Yes. Oh, okay. All right. So they're in the suburbs of Chicago, and she attends a Catholic school.
And her dad is a major.
A major.
And he's a major meanie. He's a major in the army, and he's a major meanie at home.
He's a major bum deal.
He's like way too strict, man.
What would you call him in 80s talk? A drag?
Yeah, he's a drag.
Or is that too 60s?
I don't know.
He's real
The 80s is all about like making up your own words. So he was a spadoinker.
Spedonkling's actually a good thing.
Oh, damn.
Spadoinkle.
Well, she doesn't have any friends, and she's shy, and she has to give a speech in front of her class. And,
which she reveals, like, way too much during this speech. Like, no adolescent kid is going to get up there and say...
I am with you on this.
And in secret, I like to pretend like I'm on Dance Fever or whatever that show was.
Dance TV.
Dance TV. Like, I
like to dance. Because if you had said that at a normal high school... people would have started throwing things at you, or like you would have. She's setting herself up to get stuffed in lockers. Like
or to have
the new girl
randomly
is a dork.
Dance in front of her, like,
yeah,
hey, you want to dance?
Check me out, and then start like butt humping her, doing the butt hump dance.
Yeah,
you know?
And you're just
high school's mean, man.
Yeah,
it
is mean.
Mean streets of high school.
Which is, like, no one in real life ever does that. Teachers are like, now stand up and give a speech, new kid.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be all nervous. Usually what they do is like, there's a new kid back there, I'll figure out their name, and so should you. And back to math.
And, and for them being into Chicago, there were a lot of white kids. I don't think I saw one black kid in their school.
It's,
well, it's Catholic school.
What? No, they're... I'm pretty sure that there would be black people in the Catholic school, too. Considering that a majority of their population is...
Maybe not in the 80s.
I don't know.
You're making
I don't know. Maybe it's so far... Because they did have to get on a weird bus to get to Chicago. Maybe it's, like, so far outside of Chicago, it's in some special white people gated community.
Yeah, maybe it's like this whole thing in the 80s that we didn't even know about, that you couldn't be black and go to Catholic school. Because it was just like the civil rights movement that nobody even talks about because nothing really happened with it.
Okay.
I don't know.
Moving on.
But when they get to Chicago, there's plenty of black people dancing.
There is lots of black people dancing.
And most of them are better at dancing in this movie, and none of them get selected, which is nice job, producers, to at least spot the good dancers.
The producers of Dance TV are also numbnuts.
Or the movie, because you're watching this, and you're making a movie about dancing, and you're like, these dancers that we have that are really good, they're not gonna make the finals.
Yeah. Well, she gives her introduction speech, and she reveals who her newly best friends I guess because they're all going to now be her best friend, because that's just how the 80s
Convenient
work.
friendship is a theme in this movie.
That she loves to dance, and she wants to be on dance TV, which is like Soul Train.
Yeah. Or what was that crap on... Because Soul Train was a much better show.
It's Dance TV is a very appropriate title for this TV show.
Yeah, there was something like that.
Yeah.
It was a half hour. Because Soul Train, I thought, used to be an hour long.
I think MTV even
MTV had one in the
dancing
morning.
the shows.
Dance TV
Saturday mornings.
was the white people's Soul Train.
Pretty much. But I think that there was actually white people dance TV. Like, I think that that's the most accurate part of this movie is it
Bandstand.
American Bandstand with Dick Clark.
But there was, however, one that was on Saturday morning on MTV that was just people dancing for a half hour, and I think Dan Cortez was the host of it for a while.
Well, Dance TV is an hour long.
Oh!
It's an hour long.
And it's local, too.
Yeah, it is local. It's WGN, probably.
Something.
It's like WGN, but, hour-long dance program. Wouldn't like... How do you keep that going for an hour?
Well, you have couples, right? And then
maybe they swap out. I remember.
Yeah, they swap out so that every other song you're getting a new set of people out there dancing so that they're not tired.
Well, I'm not saying that, but how do you keep anybody's attention watching people dance for an hour?
Well, they have costumes
How long is
and
Dancing
shit.
with the Stars?
I remember watching...
Is that an hour?
Yeah,
I remember watching
Jesus.
the MTV dance show for the wrong reason. And...
Butts?
Boobs.
Yeah.
No, there was always like 3 women on there that I was like, whoa, hello. And they didn't swap them out. They weren't changing. Like, those women were dancing for 30 minutes. I guess they get the commercial break. And you don't know how long the commercial break is on something like that either. Because it's not live.
Right.
Nothing's really live.
Right.
So, but they were...
Except for Dance TV.
Dancing for... Well, in the movie, Dancing TV is live, I guess. Because that would be a smart thing to do.
Well, she wants to get on Dance TV, but she... I guess has problems at home because her dad's grumpy about stuff.
Yeah, major jerkwad.
Yeah.
Major jerkwad. You know what? He's not really a jerk. He's just trying to keep her safe.
Yeah.
From what?
From
bullshit, and he was doing a good job up until she got to that Dance TV.
Yeah. Keeping her out of the inner city and shit.
He certainly kept her away from the eyebrow clippers. Yeah.
Those pluckers are dangerous, Justin.
Well, she becomes instantly friends, as Sam said, with Helen Hunt. Helen Weekend Pussy Hunt. Who is already dialing up the 11 on the bullshit clothes because she's got breakaway clothes.
Yeah,
she's got her
rips her
Catholic
sleeves off.
She's got her Catholic schoolgirl outfit that is basically like the jerseys that basketball players wear when they're warming up and they just tear them right off.
Yeah.
And then she's got slutty, well, not necessarily slutty, but 80s girl with the tude outfit on underneath.
She's got a mini skirt. Her Catholic skirt flips around and turns into a mini skirt.
A leather mini skirt.
Yeah. And it's all Velcro.
Yeah. Yeah. She also drops a bomb here because she's talking to Sarah Jessica Parker about boys. Oh, imagine that. And she says, she says, I gotta go. Why, you got a date? I just know I must be horny.
Yeah.
What does that mean? I just know I must be horny.
Which that never pays off.
Are you confused that you're horny? Am I horny? I don't know.
Maybe she doesn't really know what it means.
Because I'm a teen, I just know that I must be. Because I'm a teenager.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like I am.
But I should be.
I
guess I am.
Or maybe I am. And I just don't know what horny is.
You know what? I am. I'm horny. Because I'm a teen.
Yeah.
And because I took my sleeve off. Can't you tell?
Yeah, we never get any dial up with that.
Maybe she thinks that horny is confused.
This movie is not as sexually aroused as Teen Witch by any means.
At that point, I thought, like, oh shit, this is going to be another Teen Witch. We're going to see a bunch of illegal activity on the screen. But no, it just it went away from that immediately.
They're just so much more interested in being besties that...
being girls.
Yeah, being girls and just having fun. Very aptly titled.
Dancing.
Well, Helen Hunt can't go dance. She's got to go babysit. But guess what's on at the house that she can babysit at? Dance TV.
Dance TV, which is this is another point. This is in the middle of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you see Dance TV, it's like they just... Now live, Dance TV! Wait, what time is this? Is there a regular time that this is on? Because it's on at like 3 p.m.,
It's on
10
in the
at
mornings.
night, in the morning. Like, dance TV is 12 times a week.
It's like reruns of Family Guy. I like the football dance TV in this sequence. Did you see the football? Blue 42, set hut,
I didn't pay attention.
dance.
Oh,
They were all dressed up like
Football players.
football players.
That was awesome.
They started
I didn't
dancing
write that down.
in jerseys and full pads. Yeah.
But just the pads, though. Like, they didn't put a jersey over the top of the pads. It was like either had a jersey or pads.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't afford both.
They didn't have enough.
They were like, all right, there's too many people here, so pads, jersey.
Doesn't it, like, when they're babysitting, it cuts over to the dude?
Yeah, the dude whose name?
Some dude that's obviously attractive to one of the producer's daughters. He's got all the 80s look or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the major bomb happens for me, because I looked this movie up.
Jeff. Yeah.
So then the major thing happens for me that my big surprise. Jonathan Silverman's in this movie?
Yeah.
You don't see his name in the credits.
Jonathan Silverman.
And Jonathan Silverman's like one of the main actors in the movie. And you never even noted, like, I didn't even see that he was in this movie.
Yeah, he sure is. Well, they're playing basketball.
Kind of.
And they're doing it quite poorly. Some double dribbles. I love in movies where it's like, okay, these guys got to be outside doing something. What would they do? They would be playing basketball.
Yeah.
Because that's what guys do. And
Well, you know what?
no skills at all.
It seemed like since the late 70s or whatever, you just had to have a basketball hoop on the garage.
Well, most people do.
I know, it was weird when we moved, and like the first thing that my dad did was he put a basketball hoop above the garage because you just had to do that. Mm-hmm. Which I appreciated because I liked playing basketball on it.
Well, Jeff and Jonathan Silverman look like they have never touched a basketball. Because they are not comfortable with the ball.
Yeah, no.
But this is apparently what they do. And then Shannon Doherty shows up
And
on a
she
skateboard.
says, "Fuck that skateboard," and just ditches it.
Yeah.
And you never see it again.
No, she skateboards in the mall.
Oh, does she?
Yeah. That's how she gets to the 80s clothing area.
But she totally just ditches it. Like, it just flings it. It's gone.
It killed the cameraman. So, back to the girls.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we just had to get introduced that, there's also these guys in this town.
This is a dichotomy.
And this is the third girl that's on the movie box cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really isn't really part of the movie very much at all.
Not really. She does not need to be on the cover. But, there's a baby in the pizza.
They put a baby in the pizza. They're so crazy.
Zany girls!
And this is the first time that you see what is on Helen Hunt's head when she does her hair off to the side. It's Stegosauruses. She's got dinos on her head.
Not make-believe, that it's not artistic. It's just plastic toys
It's
glued
plastic
to her hair.
Toy dinosaurs on her head.
She's wacky.
So crazy.
So crazy.
She's very fashion forward.
Well, we also
for
get
the 80s.
we also get introduced to the rich girl.
Yeah.
Whose name also escapes me. Because she doesn't come up very often.
No.
Other than that she's there. I guess there has to be an antagonist.
Veronica?
Something. She's basically Veronica from Veronica and Betty. Kind of similar.
She's just such a bitch.
Ricky? I don't know.
Stupid hoe bag. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah.
While you look that up.
Oh, Natalie.
Natalie.
Well, she also wants to be on dance TV.
Even though her dad just bought her some singing contest or some bullshit, her dad just buys her these contest victories.
Mm-hmm.
She's found the next one.
Yeah, she's on to dance TV.
But she's like 30.
Yeah. She's no spring chicken.
She's not young.
It's like, dude, you're never going to get on dance TV. That'd be like me and you, Justin, being like, we're going to get on dance TV. We're going to practice. Sam's going to critique us, and we're going to get on dance TV. No.
We're probably better than Sarah Jessica Parker. She doesn't even dance. She just does gymnastics.
Yeah.
Well, so, rich girl, Christy, Natalie? Yeah, we get introduced to her briefly the same way we get introduced to the guys. She has nothing to do with anything other than that she wants to be on dance TV.
Yeah.
Sarah Jessica Parker's dad is paranoid about bad things happening to her if she gets on boys, yeah.
They made the deal when she was 7. She wasn't going to do anything fun until she graduated high school.
Yep.
I'm paraphrasing. It wasn't exactly that, but it was pretty much that.
Yep.
Well, there's an audition for Dance TV, and it's out in the park. Now, do you guys understand the rules of getting on Dance TV? Well, there's an audition, and then the audition is to win Dance TV? Because you have the audition, and then you go on to get into the contest. But how do you just be like, can I just be on Dance TV as part of your regular act?
What do you mean? You just go up and ask him that?
No, I'm saying, how do you do that?
You get into the contest by auditioning, and then you win the contest.
So Dance TV is only a contest. It's not like American Bandstand where there's just people dancing and music is playing.
I don't really think that it operates like this on normal dance programs. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but for the purposes of this movie, that's how it works.
Every episode of Dance TV is a contest.
No, I don't think so. I think it's a once-a-year deal.
So
they
have
lost
to
a couple because they got too old. They were like, well, Betty and George there have hit 25 and kicked their asses off.
Did that actually happen and I just missed it?
No, I'm not being serious, but that's pretty much what happened.
They just said that one couple is gone.
Yeah, we gotta replace them. Okay, fine.
Pregnancy.
Yep.
All right, well, Sarah Jessica Parker goes to the audition, and it's outside in, like, a park area, I guess.
Is it the same park that they did Wayne Stock in? That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Probably. Wayne Stock was the next weekend.
Actually, no, it was several years later. Yeah, a long time later.
All right. So the dudes show up as well. We didn't even know that they want to have anything to do with Dance TV, but Jonathan Silverman and Jeff. Jonathan Silverman has a old beat up Mercedes, and he runs into some bikes.
And he's also going to sell audition T-shirts for Dance TV.
Dance TV T-shirts. The girls are already like, well, this place is so cool, because Jonathan Silverman crashed into some bikes.
Yep.
This place is out of control.
And that's when Helen Hunt puts a grasshopper on her head.
A giant one.
It's a giant. This is the biggest thing that's on her head. It's probably like a 9-inch grasshopper that's about 3 inches in diameter. It's like weighing down her head. Plastic grasshopper.
And it looks like it's on top of a cake hat. Like a round little cake-looking
There
hat.
is a platform for the grasshopper.
You know what I think when I see all the things they put on her head? Is that the director took a production assistant aside and said, go down to the dollar store and find some stupid shit to put on this lady's head.
Yeah.
And then the production assistant comes back and he's like, wow, I really should have phrased that differently. Because you did exactly what I said. To the T. You found some stupid shit. And now we are going to put it on her head.
Not even mousetraps that are taken out of the package, just the packaging glued on there. Spatulas.
Just anything, yeah. Plastic plates.
A can of spray paint.
And actually, I think at one point, one of the things that's on her head is on like a little plate.
Bryan Adams, the Lost recordings. Yeah, so, turns out that the rich girl is there as well. She pulls in and she almost runs over Helen Hunt. But then Helen Hunt gives her the old taunt. It's a 15-yard penalty in the NFL nowadays. But she walks up to her and, like, she's got to punch her or headbutt her or something and then does the pullback. Checks herself out in the rearview mirror.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Tough.
And then, like, everybody... Dance TV basically stops for everything that has to do with these two girls. Because now she's getting cheers for being so cool. Like, that was so cool.
You know what I would have done if I was the rich girl right there? Because, so, she taunted you and, like, acted like she was going to hit you, but then brushed her hair.
Uh-huh.
And it was like, oh, face. And then she looks in the passenger mirror. So you know what I do? As a checkmate to that situation, I open the fucking door. Yeah, because I'm not attacking you. I'm opening my fucking door. And you're just going to eat shit now.
That would have been awesome.
I would like to see the Stinker Madness cut of this film.
Oh, yeah. Helen Hunt just goes down and loses 3 teeth. Grasshoppers in her face.
Yeah, the grasshopper's not staying on. So, yeah, they pair up with their prospective dance partners. They don't really have a plan, these girls. It's just show up.
The producers don't have a plan. One of the producers in the movie is just asking for pills the whole time. Which I thought was another, like, one of those things that was fairly aggressive, like the horny comment that just sort of goes away.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so he's addicted to pharmaceuticals.
Right.
Is this going to go anywhere? Nope.
Well, that was just part of the 80s, and they just wanted to make sure that they were representing.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what the girls are thinking, because you can't, like, in my opinion, you show up to a dance competition. I don't know much about structured choreographed dance, but I understand that they would have to have some choreography. Like, you have to have a game plan. Like, I'm going to do this move, and then my partner is going to swing me this way and do this. But they don't even have partners. Everybody else seems to have partners, because there's the matchy-match people that, like, the pairs, the twins, and people wearing the same costumes, and they dance the same way. But Helen Hunt and Sarah Jessica Parker just find these random guys. One of them happens to be Jeff. But Helen Hunt's guy is getting paid off by Natalie to dump her on her ass.
Yeah,
Yep.
no. So
you would have got dumped on your ass anyways, because you don't have a partner, you just have a guy.
yeah, not sure. There's a level of dancing that if somebody's had a lot of training, that they can actually just dance with somebody.
These girls have a lot of training.
No, they don't. And I wrote down that tumbling isn't dancing, but I did audition some kids at one point, and the guy that was the producer was like, he made them dance, and he made them dance with each other to see how much training they had.
I think.
And you know what we didn't do on the
give
show?
some more information.
Any dancing, because no one was trained well
All
enough
you
to do
said
it.
is that one time you auditioned some kids and they started dancing. What was this?
Oh, I used to work on a children's show, and the producer wanted to see if anybody had any formal dance training, and that nobody really did.
Was the dance, or was the children's show Dance TV by chance?
No, but if we would have had better dancers, according to the producer, we would have done more dancing sequences. We tried a couple of times, and we brought in a dance coach, and there was a lot of smoke, and at one point he was like, more smoke. And more strobe lights so that you couldn't tell that nobody could dance.
People are bumping into each other.
Oh yeah, it was a disaster.
Some kids dancing with the trash can.
We get the footage back, and the other thing that really sucks when you do a strobe is you have to time the strobe with the camera so that the shutter matches up. And so you would run in there and be like to the people running the strobe lights, make the strobe slower or faster, like more strobe, more this, and he was changing things while we were shooting it, so we get the footage back. And I was like, you went in there and changed the strobe light, and so there'd be like one frame every 15 that there was something showing up, and he looks at me and he's like, well, you can't tell that they can't dance worth a shit.
Oh my god.
So we just scrapped. That was the end of dancing on that program.
Oh, if only Dance TV had more strobe lights. Well, Helen.
Wow.
Hello.
That's the worst thing that anybody ever said. You have officially worn the crown. You're such a dumbass.
Helen Hunt gets cut. is what I have written down.
That's what I was intentionally avoiding.
She's out. She cannot be part of Dance TV anymore. Probably because she's got a filthy name.
We can't put you on TV.
People are going to fuck this up too much.
You should change your name to Weekend Pussy Hunt. That's so much less offensive.
Sarah Jessica Parker does gymnastics.
Yeah, which is not dancing, it's fucking gymnastics. And then Jeff, we wrote down, and I remember this because all I wrote down is Skippy dipshit. Because
he just twirls in a circle.
That's after he jumps through some like paper that somebody had carefully put up. Like he comes in hot. Yeah, he comes in hot and jumps through the set and then does a bunch of pirouettes and they're like, this guy's on fire. Yeah. One, he's just twirling, and two, he broke something that you brought with you.
Well, they obviously get picked together. Sarah Jessica Parker and Jeff. Did we even see Natalie dance?
Yeah, she danced with some dude that she brought.
So she came prepared.
Yeah. She tried to kick herself in the face, and
she came with a couple Ulysses S. Grants.
Yeah.
And a program. Dance routine. Well, she doesn't get picked. But we then find out Jeff's backstory. His dad wants Jeff to go to a trade school.
Mm-hmm.
Out over dinner, we find this dinner question mark. We can't really tell what they're eating, but it looks like they're eating a couple rolls, some string beans, and some milk.
Yes,
for dinner. So Jeff is also getting the business from his dad, but his dad at least is not just protecting Jeff. He's saying, Jeff, you should do this because my father did this and your father did this. Oh, I just put it together. Shannon Doherty's Jeff's little sister.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Way to catch that one.
I was busy laughing about other things like gymnastic dancing.
Yeah.
It's hard to pay attention to this movie because it's just so stupid. we also...
It was definitely written by a 14-year-old girl.
Well, you think? I think it was written by a fat guy eating pizza for 14-year-old girls. I just don't see this being, like...
I think there was a multitude of... I think I didn't write down the writer because of how many people had been involved in the writing process.
Yeah, I think this is just cashing in.
Yeah, this is... A focus group wrote this movie.
Yeah. Well, Sarah Jessica Parker also has an awkward sibling relationship with her little brother.
Who she likes to show everything to.
Everything.
That was an awkward scene.
Both of them.
Both of them. She's in there taking a bubble bath. She's not like, get out of here, you little monster. She's like, hey, I'm taking a bath right now.
And then she gets up while he's still in the room.
Yeah, she stands right up. Ugh.
And then she stands there in her underwear and tank top.
That's later, but
That's
yeah.
later.
Yeah, and that
underwear was like, whoever got the bikini line should have gone after those eyebrows. Because if she's got eyebrows like that, the downstairs was going to be shaggy too.
Yeah, Dad needs to not worry about the dancing. He needs to worry about the Victoria's Secret. Those were not panties.
At least it wasn't Fredericks of Hollywood.
Yeah.
Hello! Like one guy, so Frederick of Hollywood.
Right.
He's like, I should make garments that cover up nothing at all.
Everything.
But the vagina and the breast area.
Yeah. And the
Good
balls.
idea, Frederick. And then, every man around him was like, that is a great idea.
So dumb. Well, Jeff calls while Sarah Jessica Parker's in the bathtub. So, how does he get her phone number? I don't know.
Helen Hunt yelled at him at the dance routine. He remembered it.
You just said Helen Hunt. You were also flirting with disaster. Maybe we should actually find out her character's name. So we can just avoid
that altogether.
Lynne
Stone.
Lynne and Janie.
Yeah, Lynne Stone. I remember that was really stupid. Lynne yelled it at the dance auditions when they were leaving. Just yells it out loud.
555 7892.
Exactly, something like that. And then when Sarah Jessica Parker answers the phone, she's like, "I can't believe you remembered the number because it was just yelled out loud."
All right. Well, Dad's not happy that Jeff is now calling. Even though Jeff just wants to win the competition at this point, he has no ulterior motives. He just wants to win the competition and with the side order of banging, probably, sure, but it's natural. It's time to go to high school. Back to high school for the boys. You know how you tell who the cool guy is in high school?
How?
He opens his locker by banging on it.
Yeah.
It's classic cool guy move. Jonathan Silverman is not the cool guy. He can't do that. Yeah.
But he does make money selling reports or something.
Yeah.
Selling
Papers.
academia.
Yeah. Essays.
Academic dishonesty, as it were.
Yeah. I don't really know. Is that, was the 80s just full of cheating? It seems like everybody was cheating.
I think that, that was an idea that you could actually do that, but it wasn't really possible. Maybe it was. I don't know.
Well, we get a bunch of baloney scenes here of just gags. Lynne is singing during choir practice, but then she busts into song on her own, and it sucks.
Yep. In order to cover the escape.
Oh, yeah. Sarah Jessica Parker's. How's that going to cover the escape?
Which means they both ditched school to go dancing at the Otis Dance Center, which Otis was the last name of the gentleman who was the dance choreographer for this movie. They shouted out to their own man here. Which that was when they talked about how she stood him up, because we forgot she stood up Jeff. He was all fucking sad about it.
She stood Jeff up?
Yeah!
Yeah, the first night.
And that's when Natalie...
Oh, because they were supposed to go practice.
Yeah, Natalie shows up and she's like, you should be my dance partner, even though I already have a 6'4" gay guy who's better at dancing than you are.
That's right.
And then we discover that Natalie's dad owns the factory where Jeff's dad works.
Yeah.
Right. Natalie's father, who looks like Ric Flair.
Right.
A fatter, older version of Ric Flair, which is saying something. Then they're in the mall. Girls are in the mall.
And at this point, Helen Hunt has a Daniel Boone hat.
Yeah.
It's a coonskin hat.
And coveralls with a bandolier.
Yes.
With actual bullets.
Bullet bandoliers.
Yes.
Yep. She's looking good.
And, yeah.
She's out for the hunt.
I just got random notes here because there's no scenes in this
So
movie.
this is when Shannon Doherty becomes random besties with those two.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, they're all friends.
Yeah, they're all suddenly
and they get
great friends.
Then Jonathan Silverman has the invitation to Natalie's party at, I don't know if it's a non-quinceañera or what the fuck it is.
It's a Sweet 16.
Yeah, so it's a quinceañera, basically.
Natalie is not 16 years old.
No.
No.
She's 23.
Yeah.
But she likes to party. So fuck it.
Throw me a party.
And her dad's got money. So she throws a party at the country club. And the only way that you can get it is if you have an invitation. So the three girls, who are now all best friends, and apparently have been for all time, they make 1 million copies of the invitation.
150 copies.
150 copies, and they give it to all of the riffraff in town.
To the edgy folk.
Anybody with a mohawk, invite.
Skateboard.
Invite.
Yeah.
Weird piercings around their facial area.
That's an invite.
Invite.
38 special and no pants.
Invite.
Yeah. Dead man switch bomb. Too soon? Okay. I should have followed it with and a beard. Yeah.
And then Helen Hunt changes clothes in the middle of the invite process when they start spreading it around town. And now she's wearing like a suit jacket with an orange rib guard, and she's got birds on her head. Or maybe they're cats. We couldn't really get a look at them.
So, this is the first time, at this point, we get the first Girls Just Want to Have Fun, the song.
Mm-hmm.
Not sung by Cyndi Lauper.
Nope.
Mm-mm. Cyndi Lauper does not appear in this film. At all. Just blows my mind. Well, the party gets crashed. Literally.
Well, you forgot that, the Grateful Dudes...
The Grateful Dudes.
The Grateful Dudes, they stink.
They stink.
And while they're playing, Jonathan Silverman, there's a naked woman sculpted into the ice, comes up and rubs the boob of the ice sculpture, just for good measure.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Just molest the ice sculpture, and that's when the party gets crashed.
Yeah.
Right, and
guy
we
through
get
the
to
window.
see the cardboard cutout of Natalie with her Miss America crown or whatever the hell that was in a swimsuit with some roses.
Yeah.
Black and white cardboard cutout.
Yeah. Like life-size cutout.
Don't know what that's all about.
That was the last, apparently, contest that her father bought and paid for.
Must have been. So, everything is going crappy for the party, except the wrong crowd in town. All of the bad riffraff people. Muggers, murderers, perverts, geeks, dweebs, freaks.
All of them.
All of them are all professional dancers.
Oh, yeah.
They all know how to do this one dance routine at once that they've never done before.
They also know how to play musical instruments.
Yeah.
Because they take over the band.
Yeah, they take over the band, which is a little bit more conceivable than professional dancers. But
and
still.
Some of the dances that the punk rock people were doing were like aerobics. They weren't even dancers. Like, they just started, they crashed the party, and it was like, oh no, the bad element has come over and started an aerobics class.
It was like a Richard Simmons aerobics class. And one, and two, and lift those knees up, ladies!
It is not a hardcore punk rock show by any means. It's basically, if they had just come through the front door and not crashed the party, like, physically, the party could have gotten pulled off just fine. Like, wow, that was a really great time. Like, Ed and Joe go home afterwards, at the country club. I haven't had that much wacky fun since the 60s.
Yeah.
Jillian, whatever his wife's name is. But no, they don't.
And Jeff falls on Natalie's dad, and you get some Jell-O in his hair.
Blueberry pie.
Blue something. Horridly embarrassing.
Terrible.
That makes his hair colored.
Yeah. Well, the next day, it's outdoor gymnastics class. at the Catholic schoolgirl convent, or whatever the hell you call those. I guess just Catholic schoolgirl.
Yeah,
Catholic
because that's safe. On the concrete there.
In regular clothes, too.
And there's no heed paid to which gymnastics women and men participate in, because they're like, hey, as a distraction tactic so that Sarah Jessica Parker can talk to Jeff. Hey, Sister Sarah, why don't you show us how to do the pommel horse?
The pommel horse.
And then there's some dude and a nun, because women can't do the pommel horse. Some guy dressed up like a nun. Well, they don't do it.
Right.
They could. I'm not saying they couldn't. It's not part of the women's program. They are never trained to do that.
It is not.
So at which point a man dressed as a nun starts doing the pommel horse.
Yeah.
And it is obviously no longer Sister Sarah.
Really?
All the nuns, well, not all of them, but most of the nuns in this movie were obviously far too attractive.
Haughty nuns?
They would, but you can't tell because they're dressed like nuns.
They're frumpy. They're frumpy haughty nuns.
It covers up everything but their face. You can't really tell what a nun looks like.
But you like them, huh?
They were too young, let's just say.
Right.
They were all very young.
And none of them was the size of a house.
I think that in real life, they were sums.
Hmm.
The producer was...
Sums?
Yeah, they weren't nuns, they were sums. The producer was getting sums.
Mm-hmm.
Nuns.
Moving on.
Oh.
Sarah Jessica Parker now is sneaking out so she can practice with Jeff. And she has to go through her top window.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just some random Doberman outside.
I think it's their dog. That's their dog. We see that dog at one other point.
I'm going to draw you guys a picture of how I see
that working.
Their house.
That dog is guarding the one edge of their yard.
Yeah, it's only guarding the one corner of the yard.
Sarah Jessica Parker's window is facing the street, which is kind of a curved road. And so it's not facing directly at the street, but there's not very much yard right there. And then there's a fence along the back. And then there's a dog and no fence on the street. The dog is just on a square patch of grass about 9 feet square that's just tied to a tree. What is he protecting?
No, the one edge of the yard.
Yeah.
He's keeping her in.
Not even that.
Obviously not, because he's tied to the tree.
He's keeping her away from that tree. He's keeping everyone away from that tree. It's like really shrubberies more than anything.
Really?
Because it was staked in. It wasn't even wrapped around the tree. It was just next to the shrubs on the side of the yard. Dumb. Doesn't make sense.
So dumb. So now we're at the sandbar.
What was it called?
I don't know. It's the place where 16-year-olds can drink. It's some party. Oh, that's why she's sneaking out. She's not going out to practice. She's going to go see Jeff. Now they're a couple.
They're going to try their dance moves in public and see how it went.
Yeah. Because he's doing the Dirty Dancing pickup thing. He did that one time, and then they fell in love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it works every time.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. You could pick up your lady above your head like that and hold her.
You are good to go, buddy.
Yep. It's love for life.
Or, in the case of Jonathan Silverman at the party, if you find the right woman, you can ask her, hey, do you want to play Tune in Tokyo? And she'll say, yes.
What's that?
What's that? And at this point, if you ever get a woman to agree to play Tune in Tokyo, skip that part.
Yeah.
You'll be able to do better.
Yeah.
He did it wrong. You don't just be like, oh, she's going to do it, because Tune in Tokyo never ends well.
This was weird.
Yes, it was.
This is something that I would expect to see in a movie like Porky's.
Yeah.
Where it's like something that's, it's in the past, it's in the 50s. Like, not a 50s movie, but a movie about sly guys in the 50s, you know, pulling hijinks and strapping chains to the back of cops' axles and playing Tune in Tokyo and, hey, look at this, and then punch you in the balls type of thing. 80s?
Meatballs.
Tune in Tokyo? What?
Yeah, and also that when she agrees to it, he doesn't just, like, grab her boobs.
Oh, he goes...
He does, but he sets up...
He tunes in Tokyo.
He, like, tries to, set a mood for her where he's like... and he sets up this whole World War II scenario with her.
Right.
Like, imagine this, and I have to run the radio and save the day, and then he tunes in Tokyo and he grabs her boobs.
I have never heard the whole background story behind Tune in
No,
Tokyo.
I've never seen anybody go that far with it.
Just like you grabbed and went, oh, Tune in Tokyo!
Yeah. Because they say, it's sort of like the Rab kissed the bunny between the ears thing.
My notes are getting even weirder. Helen Hunt, outside bus, globes and lobsters.
Yeah, so she's got these it looked like they were lobsters, but then they were globes. But you got one good look at it, and they were globes with lobster claws glued to them.
Yeah.
That's what she was wearing on her head.
Pretty weird. Well, hey, you know what this movie's got? I'll give you one guess. It's pretty easy to figure out.
fun,
and
girls,
having
fun
in a montage.
Montage.
Oh,
We get slapped in the face with the obligatory montage. Like you couldn't have known. That's the one thing you know about this movie going into it. Oh, it's gonna have a montage. A girl dancing training montage.
Oh, yeah.
So
yes, it did.
Yeah. So now Jeff and Laney. I don't know.
Janie. I thought her name was Janie.
Now they're good at dancing.
Yeah.
They've been practicing now for a whole week.
Yeah.
Or 3 days or whatever.
It's been an indeterminate amount of time as covered by a montage.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So Jeff is now getting the business though from Ric Flair. Now that they're good and they have a shot, Natalie's dad gives him the business because apparently Jeff's dad works for Natalie's dad. And like,
So,
hey,
yeah.
you gotta throw this dancing business or I'm gonna fire your dad.
Mm-hmm.
So Jeff's now buttholing out on Sarah Jessica Parker, Laney, Janie, crazy Laney, Janie. Like, no, I'm not gonna dance with you. In like one of the worst. Like, he just comes in the door and is a total butthole. Not even like, hey, what's up? He's just like, fuck you, bitch, and then walks out. What?
So, I mean, if he would have told it, which wouldn't have made for a good movie, but in real life, he would have been like, oh, so the guy's threatening to fire my dad if we dance, and she'd be like, oh, that's fine, I'm gonna get in trouble if we dance. We'll just continue to date each other, and then, as we were saying in the movie, not become members of Dance TV, which will lead to having to smoke people off for crack in the alleyway behind Dance TV.
Right.
Yep.
Absolutely. And then they go to college, and he goes to Penn State,
Or
and
he
she
goes to trade
Indiana.
school, and she goes to,
First
Northwestern.
First, it's going good for the first couple months, and then they slowly drift apart, and then she gives a guy a bluey behind the dumpster behind Dance TV anyways. Relationship over. So, either way.
And then 10 years later, they, things didn't work out again, but they find each other, and second chance.
On Dance TV.
Without Dance TV at all.
Okay.
This is just in that bar that serves 16-year-olds drinks.
Oh, yes.
It cleaned its act up. Now it's just for regulars.
They're the last two people there at midnight when it closes down.
Hey,
Curfew.
I remember you.
Yeah.
Even though I have to look at you with one eye. Because I drank so much.
Boone's Farm.
And her response is, la la la. And then they wake up in the morning and she's like, did we? And he's like, I'm sure, but I don't remember a fucking thing. My wiener smells funny. So I guess we did.
Oh my god.
It's sticky down there. Something happened. Picking up chicks at the bar.
Successful weekend.
Cha-ching.
I'm gonna go tell my buddies. Okay, so she climbs out the window again, but this time she gets busted. Dad cuts down the tree, or the branches from the tree, so she can't climb down the tree anymore.
Yeah.
He doesn't just let the Doberman off the chain.
Yeah. Well, you can never tell if they have a fence. You just know that they have a dog and some shrubs and a tree.
I like this scenario. Oh, you're busted, young lady. You're really in trouble now. I'm going to let the Doberman off the chain. And he lets the Doberman off the chain, and the dog just takes off.
Yeah. Just runs for freedom down the street.
Well, guess I'm going to have to trim the tree instead.
That one's not coming back.
Look at him go. She's all trapped in the house now, which I guess isn't really going to make a difference because old Helen Hunt shows up. I've already forgotten her name.
Lindsay.
Lynne, or, well, I don't know.
Something Stone.
Yeah, whatever.
Lynn Stone.
She drops from the roof.
With Bride of Frankenstein hair. She repels.
She's upside down in her window. How did you get on top of the roof with the rope?
Yeah.
And not just toss the rope through the window. Why go up to the roof and then dangle yourself upside down? Hey, I'm here to free you!
Yeah.
Aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper?
She totally Spider-Man's it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. Well, it turns out her hair is not just upside down. She has upside down hair.
Mm-hmm.
She stands on the ground and her hair is in the same way. So is that like a gag or is that just her next outfit?
What's her next outfit?
Yeah.
Her hair standing straight up?
Yeah, dude.
She wears that all the way. No, because it gets sort of just into like a full explosion by the next scene.
Yeah.
And maybe that was just they filmed that consecutively and then her hair just wouldn't stand up.
Maybe. Well, they're stuck. Well, they bail and they get stuck in a traffic jam.
Yeah.
And so they got to leave the bus and hurry! We got to get to the studio before Dance TV closes. And Dad sees Janie on TV, so he's hot. They're dancing. They're dancing it up. You got some mirror image twin dancers. Remember those guys?
Yep.
Oh yeah, the only thing I wrote down about the dance off was mirror image because that got me. It's like why is this person in the mirror? And then oh wow, that's the only talent I saw in this movie.
There is business is getting real hot. The competition is like the biggest deal ever.
Yeah.
Because while Janie's dad is on the way to the studio, we get shots of every single person in Chicago watching Dance TV.
Yep.
There's people at the bars, and they're crowded around like Kennedy just got shot or something. Like, everybody's glued to the TV. Nobody can change the channel, and their eyes are wide, and it's the biggest thing ever, this competition of Dance TV.
Yep. Janie's mom is real proud. Her and her brother are sitting on the... Mom and son are sitting on the couch watching sister Janie on TV.
Holding hands and
screaming for her,
go.
for her.
Yeah. Well, it turns out it's a tie between Natalie and Laney, Janie, Laney. See, I have Janie written right here, and then I got Laney, like, a line later. What the hell is her damn name? Who cares?
Janie. Her name's Janie.
Okay. So it's a tie. So in case of a tie, what do you have?
Dance off.
Dance off. And how do you win?
Chainsaws.
By tumbling, which isn't
tumbling.
dancing.
Yeah. It's the only way you can win. Chainsaws?
Well, I was dancing to the death, but, whatever. It would have made for a better movie.
Maybe you should take that thing out of your mouth so that people can understand you.
Dance to the death?
Yeah, I don't know. What are you talking about?
Yeah, where, they get
well,
a
an
chainsaw
actual
to dance
dance-off
with.
is when, you just dance until you fall over.
Yeah.
I had to do that every year for public access. I mean, that
What?
was a fundraiser.
You had to dance until
I
you
didn't
fall
dance.
over.
I hosted the show. I wasn't going to dance.
Okay, so people had to dance until
They
they
pay,
fell over.
and then you get, like, sponsorships and all this, and then you dance until you drop.
I saw that on an episode of Sunny.
It was I believe it was on Happy Days may have been the first time that they had that.
It's like
It's a classic episode of Happy Days,
yeah.
I believe.
Well, she wins with some tumbling. Her and Jeff do the synchronized tumbling, the floor exercise, essentially.
The dual, was it like backflips?
A couple cartwheels.
But they both, because he couldn't
and
do
one
a
backflip.
He couldn't do a backflip before the montage.
And they do it in synchronized time, sort of, and nail it. And she's the winner. Dad's super, super proud. And what's old Helen Hunt doing this whole time?
I don't know, but conveniently, that zany host of what does she tell you? Like what time it is or the weather or something?
Miss Dance TV.
Yeah, she's the news.
The news. They have to have that during Dance TV.
Dance
Yeah.
TV
She's something that's irrelevant to the program, but she's quit.
Mm-hmm.
Conveniently.
Yeah, because they won't let her ride in on a pony or some shit.
Yeah, in a chariot.
And but they will.
They will let Helen Hunt come in on a chariot.
She's on a chariot, and she's wearing a gold dress, and her hair is just a bunch of bullshit, and I can't tell what's in it.
She doesn't even have to audition.
She has some kind of crown or something.
Oh
in
yeah,
there.
she's got a crown.
She just instantly becomes Miss Dance TV.
Yeah, she's Miss Dance TV, and she's pure bullshit.
Freeze frame. Yeah, so it ends with a freeze frame, which is very predictable. That is the end of the movie. We then are treated to a medley of more crappy 80s tunes during the credits, not sung by songs sung by people that we've ever heard of, including any Cyndi Lauper. She's not in it.
Yep.
Questions and answers.
So do you think that Shannon Doherty's character and Jonathan Silverman's character got together later on because they were setting that up, but they didn't have enough movie to pay that off?
Yeah, they did set that up. Like he's oops, I'm in love with her.
But she was like 12 and he was like 16 or something, which will work later. It'll work later.
Yeah.
Like way later.
Because
Yeah,
he kisses her after they win. Dance
did?
TV.
Yeah.
I didn't see that happen.
He gets excited and he kisses her.
Actually, I'm going to change my question because it's obvious that they do. How long do you think he waits? What age does she turn before he decides to tune in Tokyo again?
Ooh.
Actually, he's not even going to tune in Tokyo. He's going to land on the island. He's going to MacArthur and storm the beach back in the Philippines. What age is she going to turn before he finally gives up and says, "Good enough, I'm going in"?
I would hope at least 17.
Oh, not 18, huh? Well, what state is it?
What state is it?
Oh, you'd hope 18.
Jesus, that is icky.
It is.
Yeah, I don't really want to speculate on that one.
Well, I have bad news, because that's my question. How old is Jeff? Does he have a job? He seems like he has a job.
Jeff, I think, is 18.
I thought they were
because he's going to trade school next year.
He's probably 17
and
or 18.
they're in high school together.
Yeah.
So he's at least a senior in high school.
He's never in high school. Like
he is in high school.
He is in high school.
He has one scene where he bangs the door, but he never has to go.
Well, they had to go to their high school 3 times, the girls.
Yeah.
Shannon Doherty was never in high school.
Yeah,
she was never in a school at all.
Well, she's in freaking middle school. Duh.
Yeah.
Just go to a different school.
Yeah. And Jeff goes to public school for poor people.
Should have had a scene where Jonathan Silverman's busting her out of school for a love. Like, hey, let's sneak out and go neck behind that tree. She's like, I'm trying to learn the alphabet.
Jackie, you got one? Or are you dry on this one?
I pretty much understood this movie.
Oh,
I got it.
Well, this is a question for you then. So,
I got it. Stop laughing, Dick.
Jeff gets threatened by Natalie's dad.
Right.
And he buttholes out on Sarah Jessica Parker. And then he's dancing. When does he change his mind?
When he sits down and has that conversation with his dad, and his dad's like, fuck that guy. You should do it for you, son.
But he doesn't, ever have an epiphany. He just listens to his dad. His dad's the last person to talk, and then it's cut, and you're having wacky business with the girls again. You never see Jeff oh, you're right, dude.
You never find out if Jeff's dad gets fired.
Yeah.
That should have been a good question.
Yeah.
Does Jeff's dad get fired?
I would say yes.
Probably.
Definitely. Sam, what else you got?
I'm going to say no, because he finally stands up to his daughter at the end and is like, you have to work for things, you stupid bitch. I'm tired of carrying your load.
Yeah. Stop doing things. Your life is set. Just fucking cocaine. Go away.
Yeah. Your life is cocaine and alcohol by a swimming pool.
Yeah. Off you go.
Yep. As long as you don't get fat, you're set.
Mm-hmm.
What you got, Sam?
Oh, that was my last question.
I got one more, and I think you guys kind of maybe covered it a little bit. Actually, I got 2 more. No, I just got 1 more.
Okay.
The second one's too obscure. What's Natalie's motivations in life?
She just
what
wants
does
to
she
be
want to be?
famous, and she wants to be on TV. She's like Paris Hilton. She really doesn't want to do anything.
She wants to be Paris Hilton.
Yeah, but she wants to be popular.
Yeah, she wants to be number 1 in everything.
Yeah, she wants to be popular.
But not do anything at all.
Yeah, she wants to be popular and famous, but she doesn't want to do anything.
She wants to be number 1.
She has no talent.
Without working.
Right.
I like the Paris Hilton
analogy.
That's a good one.
I don't even know if she ever got that motivated to be number 1. Does she count? Does Paris Hilton count? That's my next question.
No.
Okay.
Last one. Is this movie better or worse than Teen Witch?
Worse.
Not for Stinker Madness purposes, but if you are Roger Ebert and you have to review both of these movies, which are you going to give the better score to?
Teen Witch.
You think Teen Witch?
I would say this one.
Stop Hammer Time, or what's the song? Top That.
Yeah, top that.
Yeah, top that. No, if I'm Roger Ebert, this is 2 stars. Teen Witch is 1. If I'm Roger Ebert,
yeah.
Actually, because of this has an audience that is 14 to 17-year-old girls. Ultimately, in that age group, this is in the 80s. This is like a 3-star movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Whereas Teen Witch is a little confused with the rapping and the statutory rape. Mm-hmm. Which is a real hang-up for me.
Yeah, it's a real hang-up. All right, so recommendations. Jackie?
I enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. And I could see my pathetic wanting to be popular and just not being popular or being able to dance when I was younger. So, yeah, this movie was great.
When you were a kid, you just said, when I was a kid. What about now? Do you recommend it to our listeners?
Yes, I thought it was nostalgic. Sam? I liked it.
Yeah, it was really easy to make fun of.
Yeah, I'm with you. I also give it a recommendation. I liked it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good riffable movie.
This is a very good riffable movie.
And, the action moves fast enough that you're not bored.
Yeah, it's only 90 minutes.
It's quick paced.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time. It is on YouTube if you want to catch it up if you didn't. And if you didn't, why would you listen to this podcast? Now I'm even more confused. That's it for the show. Make sure you listen this coming Friday to the Smab Fuzz, the Stinker Madness Achievements in Bad Filmmaking Awards. That will be Friday, January 9th, I believe, is the launch date for that. And I guess, other than that, get to the chopper!